Hey, what's up, guys? So I had court today, and it was kind of a stalemate. The judge wants me to come back in a little bit of time. So I was sitting at the library, right, and everything's going fine. I'm watching videos on YouTube about how to build circuit board little devices and shit, like little bugs, transmitters, and whatnot. I mean, I'm sitting there with my headphones in at my laptop for about an hour, about a good hour and a half, and nothing happens. It's a pretty light day. I'm actually kind of still shaking right now. It's nothing big, but I started to pass out flyers today. I printed out one of those flyers, right? So, hold on. Armor public safety notice, blah 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 blah, big car chase. I hope you guys can see that. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and read the whole thing for you, but I'm sitting there at my computer, and everything's fine for about an hour and a half, and these two little Mexican ladies walk in, about 40 something, and I didn't really suspect anything. I was like, oh, whatever, today's an easy day, I'm not gonna think about it too much. And they walk off. I take this little desk in a corner where there's nobody, and so it's pretty private, you don't get bothered in this little spot. Anyway, they walk up to the bookshelves off to the side, where there's this heavy-set black lady that works at the library. She's putting books away and stuff, and they sit and talk for a little bit, for about maybe 15-20 minutes, and I don't think anything of it. But when the Mexican ladies start to leave, I mean, they're like little soccer moms, like housewives, and your typical frumpy, kind of, you guys know what these people look like. They're always fucking fat, ugly ass loser type people. It's like, yeah, okay, no wonder why you're fucking fell into this. Anyway, they leave, and they say that word that fucking gets on my nerves, and I kind of look up, I'm like, fucking God, dude. And I got my headphones in, but I can hear it over the headphones, and maybe 5 minutes later, the librarian, this heavy-set black lady, she pushes her cart back toward the direction that the ladies were leaving. And I kind of look up. I'm kind of looking at her as she walks by, and she kind of looks at me like, oh, I just heard something bad about you. I just heard some bullshit, you know what they do. And so I'm like, all right, fuck this shit, dude. So I get up, and I decide I'm gonna print out some of these flyers, So I do. I go on to the FightGangstalking.com website, and I found the flyer. If you go onto the website, it's FightGangstalking.com under Tactics for Fighting Back, and then under there it's self-explanatory. The tactics it's on the left-hand side of the screen. If you scroll down a little bit on the intro menu. Anyway, so I'm sitting there. I print out 10 of them, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take these and make some copies, and at first, when I sat down to print them out, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking tape up a bunch of these things around the library. And then I kind of lost my wind. I was like, nah, I'll just take them. I don't want to start any shit and look crazy or whatever. And then I have it in my head to pass one out to this black lady that worked there, and I couldn't find her on my way out. So I go up the stairs. It's a 2-story place, and the front door is on the top level. And I've got 2 of them in hand, and I got the rest of them in my backpack. And so I leave, and I'm sitting in my car just thinking, okay, Next time I come, I'm gonna hand these things out. I'm gonna start passing them out because this shit's getting out of control. Like trying to pedify me and make me look like a fucking like a monster or something. You know what I mean? You know what these people do. Like you get that look as a guy, as a TI, as a guy. You know when a woman looks at you like, oh my god, I should be in fear for my kid. This motherfucker right here should be in jail. That's the look that this black lady gave me. And so I'm sitting in my car reading and going over this thing, and the librarian, the black lady, comes out the side door, walks up the steps right in front of my car, and starts heading to her car out in the parking lot. So I'm like, alright, fuck this, I'm gonna do it. So I get out of the car and I approach her and I'm like, hey, excuse me, just wanted to give you this real quick. So she takes it, and I could tell as I was walking away, I kind of turned over and looked at her, and she was reading it. She was reading the thing. But man, that shook my nerves up. Like that took like a lot of testicular fortitude to pass this thing out, dude. Like, yeah, it took a lot for me to pass this thing out. I mean, as a TI, you know what it feels like to get up the urge to actually fucking fight back and do something, like confronting them or whatever, you know what I mean? Getting, verbally confrontational and aggressive or whatnot, but you get to a point where it's like you can only fight so much. There's so many of these people and you can't even fucking win half the time. That's the illusion that they want to give you. And it's like you go out, you're like, if somebody comes in the door, the restaurant or whatever after you, and you're like, this motherfucker, it's gonna come from this person right here. It's gonna come from this person. And you got your eye all suspicious on this one person, and somebody else walks up and it's like, here, or whatever the fuck, the little noises that they make or the names that they call you. It's like, oh my god, dude. So you guys know what it's like. But yeah, I mean, as a guy, as a TI, one of the things they like to do is they like to pedify you. They like to make you look like a pedophile. They like to make you look like you're gay, or they make you, they just make you out to sound like you're crazy. Like, don't give this guy the time of day. He's crazy. And, but yeah, it felt good to pass this out to that lady, because I'm like, as I pulled up to the library today, I'm like, you can feel it as a TI. You're like, you keep going to the same location enough times, a fresh new place that you don't normally go to, and then you start making a routine out of it. Today I just pulled up and I was like, okay, something tells me they're gonna close in today, and they're just gonna, something's gonna happen. Like, there's gonna be some kind of little fucking informant that walks in and fucking, yeah, this guy, está loco. And lo and behold, sure enough, it happens. So, as these two Mexican ladies walk past me, I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck this shit. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a kid, fucking like a 40-something-year-old lady, or a senior citizen Asian person. And it's like, I mean, all races do this, but it's like, you get so used to one cross-section of person type doing it to you, and then it's like, oh fuck, dude, okay. And it's bam, you get hit out of left field by like some frumpy ass soccer mom. And I think that's part of the psychology to it, is it's like, damn, they got every different walk of life doing this thing. Anyway, it felt really good to pass that out to this lady, and I've got a splitting fucking headache right now. Like, I got up and I was like, I'm printing out one of these flyers, and I'm gonna start passing these out, because this is fucking ridiculous. When you start passing these flyers out, it's better than, it doesn't take as much time as pulling out your camera. It's not as me, when I have my camera and I'm pointing it at somebody, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. It's like, oh shit, like I'm gonna get confronted or something, And, shit, what? I forgot what I was gonna say. No, it felt good to pass that letter, this flyer out. And, I got up, I had a splitting fucking headache as I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, this is the last thing I want to do right now. But I did it, I passed it out, and it felt good. I mean, these people need to be exposed. I mean, you want to keep just ignoring it. I mean, for the most part, yeah, I always preach that you should ignore it. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get under your skin. You just got to ignore it. I don't know. There is two ways about it. You got to ignore it, but you got to fight it. You got to fight back. You know what I mean? There are things you need to do. I mean, I've heard reports from people of this going back as far as 30, 40 years. I mean, as far as the days of MK Ultra or whatever, who knows? I'm only 32, but I mean, for me, weird stuff started happening back in 2004, but I shrugged it off. I was like, no, I'm just being paranoid. In 2008, 2010 was kind of when it started happening more, and then it was like, no, you're just being paranoid. And in 2013 was when it started really happening, January of 2013. So, yeah, I mean, you can't just ignore this and think somebody's going to sweep it under the rug. You have to do your part as a TI and expose these people. I mean, passing out flyers is good because it doesn't take that much effort. It's cheap. And it's a passive form of exposing them, you know what I mean? You just post a bunch of them up. Somebody's going to see it eventually. It's not like you have to confront somebody who's just going to fucking play stupid and act like you're crazy. I mean, that's what fucking drives me nuts about confronting these people. Because there's one guy in my house, the guy I was talking about, they moved in, and he's kind of weak. Like, he's starting to get a little more ballsy, and he's this skinny-ass little crackhead-looking dude with dentures, and it's like, dude, don't think because I'm ignoring you that I won't beat the fuck out of you, bro. But I can't do that. I'm in this place that I'm in because I'm trying to get out of, because I assaulted two of these people, and it's like I'm in court, and yeah, I got mildly harassed on the way in there and on the way out, but by random people. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got for right now. You guys should start printing out some of these flyers. Going to fightgangstalking.com. On the left-hand side of the intro menu, it's under Tactics for Fighting Back. And then from there, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just print it right out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.